Okay, I decided to do a video about the various ways you can increase your regeneration stat on the ground because for winter event combat, your passive regeneration rate is probably the most important stat you can have. I think crit stacking might have some effect, but I'm not 100% sure if crits actually apply to snow weapons. At any rate, getting on with this. I decided to start by finding a character who has one of the most eclectic, rarely used in serious builds pieces of gear in the entire game, the Kobali Personal Shield. It is significant solely because of the fact that it has an inherent stat of health regeneration, something that you cannot re-engineer it to remove. E&E, phaser resistance. Yeah, it's not even a taking up one of the stat slots. Kind of interesting. This is something you have to do by going to the Kobali Adventure Zone and completing the story mission objectives in the Kobali Adventure Zone. I don't remember which one. Not the first one, though. I forget. There's like 3 acts. I don't remember if this is like Act 2 or Act 3. But it does come from there. Now, there are several things other than this that are quite useful, though. Yes, I often talk about how the Jem'Hadar set is amazing for this, but it's not the only one that's useful. Like this here. You don't need the stealth operational armor for this effect. However, it doesn't suck for this purpose. It's something I don't particularly like because its energy resistances are terrible. But it does give you plus maximum hit points, and it does give you a chance to heal health each time you take damage. This is actually one of the randomly available mods that you can re-engineer onto things. Well, you have to re-engineer something that actually has mods. Anyway, like this here. This says Reg HP, 42% health regeneration. Note, when it says 42%, it means 42% in a linearly stacking manner. Equip this, and this stat will go up by 42. Anyways, so, looking at this, re-engineer item. What are the possible things? HPP. HPP. And of course, all 3 of them have Reg HP as well. So, triple HPP would give you the chance to heal 51 health when hit. It would roll that chance 3 times every time you get hit. Useful. I mean, the Jem'Hadar armor, I like it because of the fact that it is a passive stat that is always on and always healing you, and it is the equivalent of having Reg HP times 6. It is that ridiculously high of a regeneration rate. It appears that this character does not in fact have that because this is my temporal recruit character who, yeah, he just has it. Anyway, I'm going to switch quick. Alrighty then. This is a character who has an inherent bonus to this effect. See, the Borg passive. Yes, that's right. There's a lifetime subscriber bonus that gives you an unfair advantage in Q's Winter Wonderland. I know. I was shocked to realize that too. Oh, well, I'm going to do this quick. Anyways, so, what we got? Traits. Yeah, this. On ground, plus regeneration. This is a passive regen stat that gives you slightly better passive regeneration than other races that don't have that trait. Also, ground reputation traits that give you passive regen. There's more than one of them now. Like, the old favorite that I like to use a lot is medical nanites. Here, watch this. See this where it says 482.5? Well, a lot of that stat actually comes from my armor. But if I throw in medical nanites, and you know what, just for the heck of it, I'm going to throw in emergency personal cloaking too. Shut up. This, yeah, I'm not sure that the bonus damage actually applies. However, the plus 3000 stealth and making you temporarily invisible to the snowmen, that absolutely works. Granted, it has a 1.5 minute cooldown, so that it's not going to happen often. But, you know, it helps. And pairing it with this, well, no, this only actually gives you plus 50 in combat. It says double this amount outside of combat, which is what it shows here, where it says that I have 582, when it's really more like 532. Needless to say, a lot of that number comes from this. This is giving me plus 160 twice, because it is that ridiculous in terms of the passive health regeneration it gives. Yeah, 580. Oh yeah, the 2.5%. I didn't explain that. That's the Lolunot tribble. It's a really, really weak passive heal, but hey, it's a tribble that actually does something in ground combat for the winter event. I think one of the tribbles that's actually part of the winter event allegedly reduces snow damage. Now, that is actually a very important thing to remember. Snowmen do snow damage. They do not do cold damage. Why? Because Q nonsense logic reasons. See, because my cold resist is actually 14.5%. It doesn't display a resist stat for snow damage because it's literally used only in Q's Winter Wonderland as a special damage type that does stupid things. At any rate. So, the shield that I'm currently using on this character is the Not Cool shield, which is completely useless in this event. Granted, there are very few shields that aren't. One more thing, though. It's a story mission set that I didn't bother getting on this character, and I don't feel like looking up which character I actually bothered getting it on, because I don't actually think that I got it on any of the, as the whole set on any character. And I need to skip these missions. Fine, whatever. Hell.
While searching for signs of
yes, whatever. Okay, so what this is.
Probes made a most curious discovery.
Kintari fortified combat armor. Now, as general armor, this is considered to be terrible because of the fact that it has, well, you can see just how low the stats are compared to the armor I'm actually wearing. However, look at the bonuses to health. 12.5% chance, 200 temporary hit points when you take damage with it. Granted, you need the defensive countermeasures set bonus, which is a 2-piece, which means that you have to use both the Kintari armor and the... Well, you might be able to set the residuum thrower as a secondary and use a snow gun as a primary, but that would lock you out of having weapon swaps. And some of the... If you have a winter event weapon that's just one of the general use ones, that's fine, I guess. The shield for this, well, let's see here. It says that it resists environmental damage, plasma damage. Also, it gives you... okay, this actually lists the temporary hit points effect as well as the armor. I'm genuinely not sure if it's actually applying that twice, but it might. If it does, that would be insane, because the fact that it would give you something like a 25% chance to get 200 temporary hit points every time you take damage. Hey, why not? This, though, does not have a passive regen stat on it. It has the temporary hit points effect instead. Temporary hit points does work in Q's Winter Wonderland, so you could wear the Kintari set and actually get a good result out of it. And also, that stuff I showed with personal traits that go for whatever reason and give you passive regen effects, those work with this. And of course, if you're a Borg, that also helps. The Borg reach, in fact, is actually kind of ridiculously weak. Yeah, my best guess is that it's actually only a plus 10. It's not great, but whatever. Plus 10, plus 20, somewhere in that ballpark. It's a very, very minor advantage, but it is an advantage that liberated Borg characters have, and liberated Borg characters are LTS only. Oh well, anyway. There might actually be more things, because one of the things that's interesting with this is that there are several things that are... Oh wait, that's right, I just remembered something. There is a Kintari gear set that's not from that mission. I think it might be a Colony World thing. Yeah, I think some of the Kintari Colony World things also have a temporary hit point effect.
I rule all the lands.
And such things are useful even if you are just splashing it into your build for no reason other than, oh hey, I'm doing a thing. I know, it's kind of like cheating to show up at the end of the event, but whatever. I'm only going to get forge trinkets for this pitiful amount of effort. Oh hey, I managed to distract him for a few seconds. Cool. Anyway, yeah. But, like, you saw how little readily apparent damage I took during that short engagement. It's not that the enemies weren't attacking me, it's that I was out healing the damage they did. Granted, they didn't attack me much. There was only a handful of them there. Anyway, though, I think that's enough about that. It's actually something that's kind of weird in an annoying way, is that several of the effects in the game that are passive heals rely on shield damage, not health damage. Like this, regenerates shield capacity. Useless. This has the HPP effect, and Reg HP times 2. That would actually be useful. This, completely useless, except for the fact that it has the HPP effect. Otherwise, you would have no reason to use this. But the HPP effect is enough health regeneration to make a difference in how long your character is able to keep going in combat, in the snowball fights. At any rate, though, yeah, I actually got multiples of this on this character for some reason. Probably because I like it. Seriously, this is... Defensively, this is great, except for the fact that it completely lacks a physical damage resistance stat. That is not a display error, it doesn't give you physical resistance at all. Like, seriously, look, 0. Anyway, other than looking at the Lucari Colony World stuff, I think that's pretty much it. Then again, I'm genuinely not sure what all of the things are in the game that actually have an effect on this. I have a pretty long list of them, but am I 100% certain it's an all-inclusive list that gives you everything? No. There are probably some things that I missed out, because I didn't go over the whole list of personal traits that are lockbox traits that might also give you health regeneration effects. Didn't even touch on that one. But those are things that might help you. Anyway, though, see you guys later.